This is a watch that brings Genta's first ever design into the 21st century. This is as affordable as it is elegant. This is the Revelot Universal. The 1950s are considered by many to be the golden age of commercial aviation, characterized by rapid growth and enhanced accessibility. Technological breakthroughs revolutionized air travel by significantly reducing flight durations and increasing passenger capacity. This transformation facilitated the expansion of international routes and made air travel more accessible to a broader audience. 70 years ago, Universal Genève entrusted a then unknown 23-year-old Genta with the task of crafting a timepiece to honor the newly established polar route pioneered by Scandinavian Airlines systems. Genta, in case you didn't know, was a highly influential Swiss watch designer known for his innovative and iconic designs that have left a lasting impact on the watchmaking industry. Genta's work is celebrated for its creativity, distinctiveness, and ability to transcend time and trends. The pole router framed Genta's design principles: boldness, functionality and elegance in a watch that featured clean lines, a minimalist dial and distinctive hour markers and hands. 70 years later, on the back of the hugely popular Mariner and Admiral models, the Singaporean microbrand Revelot comes forward with a modern interpretation of the classic design. The 40 by 46 mm case is cleverly divided into two halves, allowing the possibility of applying a two-tone finish. The top part is pretty much a sharply contoured ring around the dial, while the inferior half is elegantly convex. The upper side of the lugs is brushed for two reasons. It allows the dial to pop more, and it creates a connection to the brushed hands and indices. Speaking of the lugs, I appreciate the rather modern, somewhat muscular way they attach to the case. The crown's dimensions are adequate to the dressy appeal of the Universal, and in combination with a snap-on caseback, give this dress watch a very respectable 50 meters of water resistance. While we're at it, the caseback is an all-polished affair with laser etching spelling the timepiece's main technical data. Under the so slightly boxed AR-coated sapphire crystal, the main attraction of the watch is certainly the textured dial. 3 colors are available: white, navy blue and salmon, and they're all ornate with minuscule four-sided pyramids neatly arranged in oblique rows. There's a minimum amount of applied text to offer visual anchors, but the best piece of design, in my opinion, is the integration of the date complication. Its deliberate placement, slightly closer to the pinion that we are accustomed to, its size and obviously shape make it stand out and blend in simultaneously, a welcome counterpoint to the vastness of the dial. The brushed chapter ring houses the pill-shaped indices that break ever so gently the slight bevel that transitions to the dial, creating a suspension illusion. The brushed indices are doubled up at the cardinal points and are divided by a very elaborate sub-second track that unfortunately serves no other purpose than looking extremely pretty. And that's because, as I'm sure you have already noticed, this is a two-hander. The long and slender hands do a good job of indicating the precise time, and they are visible even in darkness due to the application of C3 lume, but to me, personally, the lack of the seconds hand renders this rather large dial somewhat lifeless. Granted, this is an Epson Quartz VX series watch, and especially with the amount of subdivisions, a quartz seconds hand not precisely hitting the markers would look messy. But I believe Kevin has lost a great opportunity at creating the perfect mecha quartz dress watch. You know, the type of quartz timepiece where the seconds hand has a sweeping motion. Kevin's argument against the third hand that would increase the Universal's thickness is perfectly valid, but especially when considering the good level of finishing of the bulbous underside of the case, I personally wouldn't have minded some extra girth and a heftier price tag. Before speaking of the price tag, a few words about the strap and its contribution to the wearing experience of the Universal. This particular two-tone variant comes with a luxurious-looking cognac leather strap that beautifully complements the golden hue of the upper case and indices. A special mention for the good-looking buckle, but looking at where it sits on my 19cm wrist, it soon becomes apparent that those with a wrist size larger than 8 inch should look into the possibility of swapping to a longer strap. What about those with a slender wrist? Well, for the good news that follows, we have to visit Revelot's website. Besides some very good photos, we get the all-important information that this model comes in two sizes, 40 and 36mm. I definitely recommend the 36 to those of you with wrists that measure below 7 inches. Even I would consider getting the smaller size if, and this is such a great accomplishment, this was not the first ever watch gifted to the channel by a brand. Speaking of gifts, this watch is practically a present that Revelot have decided to offer to all watch collectors. At $125, this timepiece is a bargain, which makes the following announcement downright outrageous. First 200 units sold starting August 31st will have an introductory special price of $89. Yes, $89 for a Revelot watch is simply a proposition that cannot be passed on. So mark the date in your calendars, cause this might just be the watch you want.